Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick video editing stream. We're going to be doing our Metal Gear 2 review once again, and we're getting pretty far. We're like, I called it 40%. We're almost exactly halfway through the sequence, but we also have the opening that we have to do, so 40% sounds about right. We're getting there, guys. We're going to keep adding B-roll, but let's watch some of the stuff that we have most recently, and then we'll keep going with the edit right here. To your advantage. This whole complexity to the stealth, it just makes it a lot harder to sneak around. Actually, we should go further back. You and your country. The big thing in Metal Gear 2 is that the stealth is way more involved this time. The first big change from Metal Gear 1 is that you can crouch, and that creates a whole new dynamic for this game. There are low walls you can go behind, there are things you can crawl inside of. In addition to that, guards can hear you. There are like different kinds of floors that will make noise. You can actually punch the walls and the guards will come running towards the area where the wall was punched. There's a lot more that you can do, not only that works against you, but you can also use this to your advantage. This whole complexity to the stealth, it just makes it a lot harder to sneak around. So like I was dying very often in this game at the beginning. I don't know. In a Souls game, we've averaged our death time to be once every 30 minutes. And in this game, it's about once every 30 seconds. So I'm pretty sure Metal Gear 2 is more difficult than Souls. Another big change that influences the stealth in this game is that you have a radar that actually goes across multiple screens. It shows 9 different screens worth of things. And what that means is that the radar not only shows the locations of guards on all of these 9 screens surrounding you, but it also means that the guards can patrol across all of these screens. So there's a huge patrol area the guards will go on. They could be anywhere at any time, so you really have to keep an eye on where these guys are. This really made it feel like the world wasn't just catered to us, which I think is a big difference between... Okay, and that's where we stopped. That's good stuff. We have a lot of really good footage in there. We just got to... find some clips that further exemplify this. It's so smart that we changed the resolution of the whole edit. Like having it at 720 isn't going to negatively affect it at all, but it's going to be a huge boon to our production speed. The world wasn't just catered to us, which I think is a big difference between Metal Gear 1 to us, which I think is a big... I wish that this went faster. Us, which I think is a big difference between Metal Gear 1 and Metal... Alright, what else we got? Right. Oh yeah, there should be a guard in this area. Tight ship. What else we got? Searching floors. Now this will not shoot off the screen. Oh, that's BS. That's a good one because it shows the guards going between 2 different screens. So let's move this clip. Just catered to us, which I think is a big difference between Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. The other thing that I think is a huge triumph in Metal Gear 2 is that I think we can get rid of our coming back to our face here. Where these guys are, this really made it feel like the world wasn't just catered to us, which I think is a big difference between Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. The other thing that I think is a huge... We can also shorten this a little bit. And Metal Gear 2. The other thing that... Metal Gear 2. The other thing that I think is a huge triumph in Metal Gear 2 is that... Get rid of this clip for now, or we'll move this somewhere else at least. that they really focused on the bosses this time. They utilized the multiple screen. Oops. Gear 2 is that they really focused on the bosses this time. They utilized the multiple. Okay, so bosses, we certainly have a decent bunch of those. We have this battle with Black Ninja, which we could show first because it's not really that big of a battle. I wasn't even suspicious. I should have known. And then we'll move forward. That I think is a huge triumph in Metal Gear 2 is that they really focus. Oh, we gotta unlink these. The other thing that I think is a huge triumph in Metal Gear 2 is that they really. And we're just gonna sort of like comb through these clips to see where the bosses are, because I don't really remember all of them. I know one of them. There's probably one per episode at least, so let's just see. No battles in episode 2. Aha, this would be one.
Hi, guy. Where to go? A visitor. What's the time? I was about to go for a little run. I am Running Man. I am Running Man, the world's fastest
Metal Gear 2 is that they really focused on the bosses this time. They utilized the multiple screen. So this Running Man battle, we can't really actually show what you know, like the battle, because the nature of that battle is that you can't see him. So let's go to a different area. Oh, is this a clip of us turning on the 360? Did we have to restart? Okay, this is really good. Because... or something. That's what I wanted in the previous video. Is showing us going into the remaster. There's also another entirely different video game for the NES called Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge. So if you want to play the actual Metal Gear 2... This ending part where I tell the story of how there's 2 Metal Gear 2s, I have no idea what kind of footage we're going to use in that, because that's a long story and there's not really a lot we can do for B-roll. You can get this in the HD collection or the Legacy collection of Metal Gear Solid, which they put out on the PS3 and 360. Metal Gear 2, go check it out. I didn't give myself much time for that. So if you want to play the actual Metal Gear 2 that has... But let's see if we can do this. If you think about it, it's not necessarily a remaster of 4 games that you're buying on this disc. It's a remaster of 2 games, which included... two that has, you know, consequence on the plot of any, you know, actual Metal Gear 2 that has, you know, consequence on the plot of any of the other consequence on the plot of any of the other franchise games. You want to look for Metal Gear 2 played on stream. That's the canon Metal Gear 2. There's also another collection, or the there we go, that's what we're looking for. Legacy collection of Metal Gear Solid, which they put out on the PS3 and 360. Actually, we could just skip that part and just show this. Solid, which they put out on the PS3 and 360. 360 bonus features. Let's get it. How you gonna Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake? welcome gaming hour. I love how they still have, well, the VRAM thing is just part of the load up screen for the MSX, but I love how that becomes like canon. 3 and 360. Metal Gear 2, go check it out, guys. Metal Gear 2. We don't need to show that. Which they put out on the PS3 and 360. Metal Gear 2. Let's give this a little more time to read it. Which they put out on the PS3 and 360. Metal Gear 2, go check. Good. Okay, so we're moving. What is this clip? I guess. But they really want you to think in... Okay, I don't really have a spot for this clip to live, so let's just put it somewhere around here. Bosses this time, they utilize the I love how Running Man calls himself the world's fastest mercenary. Like, is there someone who's keeping track of how fast the world's mercenaries are? Like, if he says the world's fastest man, I understand that. Like, he's, you know, been to a bunch of, like, races, and he's, like, outrun every other competitive runner. But the world's fastest mercenary, like, who even is the authority on fastest mercenaries? Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video editing episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining. The place where we post these videos, you can go on our secondary YouTube channel called Voice of Nick Vlogs. So you can just go on YouTube and search Voice of Nick Vlogs, or you can type in the chat !vlog. That'll bring you to our newest video on the channel. Our most recent video is actually a Metal Gear 1 classic game review, and now we're doing ours for Metal Gear 2, so we're kind of working our way through this series as we play through it. These games, the Metal Gear franchise games, are incredibly important to me. They're my all-time favorite video games, so I think it's only right that we're kind of like cataloging our playthrough by also making these reviews. So if you want to see the videos as they come out, make sure you subscribe on that YouTube channel. Click that link and hit the subscribe button on there, and you'll see all the stuff that keeps happening. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.